Okay, my name is Ram, and I'm from Canada. I don't live in the USA, but I've caught a lot of interest in this Gabby Petito case, and I'm just going to give my take on what I think should have been done and what could be done and what can be done. So here goes, and like I said, I'm not taking anybody's sides or anything. In fact, I truly believe that Brian is guilty of murder and he should be charged with whatever is coming to him if they do find him. But I've got a few points that I'm going to go over, which are my opinion, which I think could have been handled better. So the first one is basically looking at the police, how they handled the situation when they found out that Gabby had been missing. So further ado, we'll get into a video and then I'll analyze it and kind of give my take on it, what I think, how I think it could have been done better. Okay, so the first video is basically about Josh Taylor, the police sergeant or the spokesperson, giving the interviews outside the house.
Again, it's kind of hard for me to categorize it since it's currently happening as we speak. And it is obviously important for us to speak with the family, but that's kind of the second half of this. Hopefully they'll help us get to Gabby. Our focus is obviously on bringing her home and, the search that's going on for her. But there's a lot going on right now.
Our reporter there said that the officers whom you sent took in a bag, and that then they took that bag to search a Mustang that's parked in the driveway. Can you give us any insight into what's happening there?
Well, they're speaking with the family. They're gathering details, and certainly what that is. I think we'll have more information on that. It's just it's hard. Obviously they don't go in and do these things and then rush right to me to come out and talk with you. So it's happening as we speak. So, it would be kind of speculative on my part for that.
I was actually thinking more specifically, and I appreciate that, and we don't want you speculating either. But you might have been able to know something from the call. I mean, on the phone call, did they say, just come over? Or were they saying, we have some information we want to share with you? Those are kind of two different things.
I believe the original phone call actually came in from their attorney. And, the details of that we'll have, here eventually. At the bottom line.
Okay, my take on this so far, when they sent the police to the house and they sent this spokesperson to talk in front of the cameras and the news and everything and all that, my question to them is, when they knew that Gabby was missing and they found her vehicle in their driveway, would they not go into the house in case people might have thought, okay, she's been kidnapped, something could be wrong, her vehicle is in here, let's at least check this house out or something. So at least if they had gone in, they could have confirmed that Brian was in the house. They could have got, say, it's a missing persons report, the person's vehicle is in the driveway here. But, like I said, none of the cops went into the house or confirmed that Brian was actually inside the house at the time when they're giving their speech. So I find that very odd and very hard to believe, because I've watched YouTube videos, viral videos, all sorts of videos where people, for minimum things, for little things, cops break into the house, they pull them out of the bed to make sure they're the right people and they go into the wrong house. So I don't understand in this situation how and why they didn't confirm that he's inside the house. They just took the word of their lawyer and the parents that, oh, he's inside the house. Why would you not do that when it's a missing person and the vehicle is in the driveway of that person that's missing and the fiance's come back home from Wyoming? So that part I just do not believe. Why did they not make physical eye contact with Brian inside the house? I I truly believe he wasn't inside the house all this time since they found out. Well, let's continue on with the more information, what he has to say.
If you know anything about where Gabby's at, or if you've seen her or Brian along their journey in the last 3 weeks, we need those details. We certainly do want to speak with Brian. Obviously, he holds some key pieces into their trip. He is not labeled a suspect. Currently, we have a missing person case, not a homicide investigation by any means.
Now, he came back with the car, didn't say anything to anybody, and still hasn't. You've called it odd. And today, for the first time, I heard police describe progress having been made. Can you help us understand on what front you might have made some progress?
Sure. Every single day. I mean, we've received over 1,000 tips easily. We are pinpointing, getting surveillance video, getting back data from cell phone providers and other electronic devices and that sort of thing. So putting that all together, I mean, that is progress every single day. I think there was a first half of your question about him. I don't recall what it was.
Well, she's not there. He drives the car, he drives the vehicle back to the house and doesn't say anything to anybody for, by our account, about 10 days. And then you guys go walking up to the front door and the family hands you a note saying, go talk to our lawyer, and that's it. I mean, that's beyond odd. And it sounds like you may be at a point, some legal analysts have suggested that you could be at a point where you could compel a conversation. Has that been discussed?
I can assure you that we will do anything we can to compel a conversation with Brian within the law. It is odd.
Okay, here I go again. I agree exactly with the news reporter asking those questions. Like, he came back, the van's there. It is odd. Why don't the cops see it as being odd that, okay, we want to make visual contact to see if he's in the house, not just say, okay, the lawyer gave us this information, we can't talk to you, talk to our lawyer. That to me is just mind-blowing. To me, if I was in charge of the police force, I'd fire everybody. I'd fire the guy or say, any other situation, a kid is walking down the street, you have 50 cops around him and he's just chewing a bubble gum. But yet, he gets killed. But in this case, the person's missing and nobody cares. And nobody goes into the house to confirm that he's in there. You're just listening to the parent's word. Oh yeah, he's not going to talk to you. He's not going to talk to you. Just mind-boggling me. Even if he's not going to talk, go into the house. At least make eye contact, visualize that he's in the house, and then watch the house 24 hours a day, that he can't go nowhere. So I don't understand how you have 500 cops go to a traffic stop when there's a guy in a traffic stop. Oh my God, he's got a cell phone in his hand, 50 cops coming with guns. How does that make sense? I don't justify that. I can't justify the actions in this case. I truly believe the cops have failed in this case. Right from the beginning, the moment they found out, they should have gone to the house and the vehicle is there. They said, we need to get into that. Here, we as a warrant, we're coming in no matter what. And if you had to get a warrant, put police at the house, leave them there outside until that warrant is there so no one can go in or no one can leave the house. And then go in and check that, okay, we know he's in the house, we're guarding the house. Even if you don't talk to him because of his lawyer's note. That don't make sense. Why you just can't do the simplest things and don't say, oh, we're looking at every avenue, there is this, there's that avenue. That there is no avenue. If the vehicle is there, there's only one way how that vehicle came back from Wyoming, I believe. He drove it back to the house. And you guys just stand there like as if nothing's happened. Oh, we can't go into the house. Then, next time I watch a viral video, and there's a person just walking down the street, I want to hear cops say there's nothing we can do. He's not breaking the law. But yet, the guy that's there that doesn't break the law, is getting killed. The person that breaks the law here, you don't even go into the house to see if he's there. I personally think they have made you, the police force, look like fools. And you guys have fallen for the bait because he was never in the house. So to me, it's like just does not make sense. Let's continue with the video.
I mean, it does not look good. Let's be blunt about it. It does not look good at all. However, we can't completely rush to judgment, but certainly we have to plan for the worst. And I think we're making all of those, those investigative.
And just one more point: the way he said they're making progress, there is no progress made from day one since you, America, the world public has found out that she went missing, and everyone knew that he's inside the house. That you just supposedly said he's inside the house, but there was no confirmation, there was no evidence, there was no proof that he was in the house. Even while the protests were going on and people were saying, Brian, you coward, where is Gabby? You police were there, but none of you even questioned, maybe we should go in to the house and look if he's in there, and got a warrant. So to me, you guys have failed. That's how I look at it. Yes, I'm upset. I'm frustrated. Even though I'm not there, it still affects me at the way you guys do your jobs and how you interact with certain people, and then with certain people, you don't do nothing. And everybody across America knows he's guilty, but go into the house at least.
Means in those in that direction. However, we are still holding out hope.
We spoke with Gabby's stepfather, who's raised her all her life. Earlier in this newscast, he's out where the search is going on, as I'm sure you know. And from that same area today, we got a one-sentence notice that this disappearance, this missing person case, is in no way related to that double homicide that we've been covering in Moab, the same place where Gabby and Brian were around the same time of that homicide. Were you guys coordinating on that release in any way? But I'm curious if you have a clue how they are so sure it's not related. Because to have that assurance, you'd have to have a level of information beyond our understanding.
Sure. Well, what we know is we've been talking about that case for a couple days, and it is a huge coincidence. Lots of theories and speculation. And I believe initially, the law enforcement agencies in that area had said that anything and everything's on the table. And I believe that it has been. That is still and currently a separate investigation. So we haven't necessarily been completely filled in on that investigation, other than it could potentially be related to ours.
Even when she got stopped, when they stopped her, even the cops there, to me, they take his side. To me, you can tell how small she is, how big he looks compared to her. There's no way he was the victim by someone that size. And you cops believe it, or he's the victim. You have to separate them. And if you guys have done your job like you read the law in your state, anything to do with domestic abuse, you have to arrest the person. And she was the one that was in the pain, in the agony, sitting in the police car. Not him. He came out, just, she scratched me, I done this. And she said he even put his hands to her face. But you guys are so blind. You're blind because you're cops. All you see is, oh my God, that guy made a right turn. He didn't put his signal on. Let's stop him. Call back up 50 cops with guns. Okay, okay, what do you do? You kill the guy. But in this case, everything is wrong, but you guys don't see it. To me, I truly believe half of these cops there are totally incompetent to do their job. That's truly me. That's my take. That's my opinion on the way you guys do your policing.
But it just hasn't and didn't get to that level. So, once there's really not a connection there, we're not really privy to, some of those investigative details.
So also, another note on that, just before the video is finished. Like, even if the parents have come out of the house, you can still question the parents, ask them, okay, do you know what's going on? Even though they're staying silent, you can still book them for obstruction of justice and still take them downtown to the police station, even if they're not going to speak without their lawyer present. Still gives you a chance to go into the house to locate Brian. But you guys did not. So I believe you guys failed at your job. That's my opinion. That's what I truly believe.